get started. All right, welcome everybody. Angela Lehman here, and I've been highly anticipating this night for a while. My brother said to me probably by January or February, "Hey, Ange, how about having a women's retreat this fall?" And I said, "Aaron, I don't know if I have the capacity to host a women's retreat this fall." And he said, it was part of mom's dream for us to actively host retreats at Carlsbad and our property there. He said, let's see what you can work out. So fast forward 4 months, and I've had some really great mentors and people come around me that I just didn't want to keep to myself anymore. So this is a great opportunity for me to take a leap, a little bit of a risk, and for all of you to benefit from some really incredible intensive transformation is how I'd like to discuss it and talk about it. So welcome to this introductory call. There were enough people that had questions about how the retreat was going to work that I thought an info call just made the most sense for tonight. So let me go ahead and share my screen. The dates of the retreat are October 26th through the 29th. And I'll break down for you in this presentation what that's going to look like. That's a Thursday through a Sunday. We are going to be located in Carlsbad, California. And I truly believe that there will be more compassionate women's retreats in the future. This one just happens to be titled Doing Grief in Real Life. So let's dive into that and what could be a life-shifting, growth-inspiring weekend for you in whatever capacity you find yourself grieving. So we know that circumstances in our lives can trigger feelings of grief and sadness. So perhaps a job has changed, yours or someone close to you. Perhaps you've shifted career paths. Maybe there's a change to your daily routine for whatever reason. Maybe disability related. It could be about your just some limitations that you have or some new expansion that's shifting as well. And perhaps life as you knew it has changed. So maybe a child has left the nest, or you are anticipating a new grandchild being born, or something is just shifting in your life that you want to just acknowledge the sadness and grief around. And then obviously when we say grief, a lot of people assume it's directly connected to a loved one's illness or their passing and their death. And yes, that is one of the most traumatic forms of grief, but any sort of transition or change in life can trigger some of those feelings, leaving us as though we were just a shell of our former selves. So especially for women in midlife, we start to struggle with things like different career opportunities. Our bodies are shifting and changing. And I've found for myself in the last couple of years, since my mom's cancer diagnosis, that with my parents getting older and requiring more care, I felt like I was kind of in the sandwich generation. I had this family that was growing, and also I had these parents that needed my attention and support as well. So it left me somewhat in the middle, trying to figure out what to do next. There are definitely obstacles to inner peace. These are just a few that I've heard most often. One is our deep grief, really allowing ourselves to feel that, like that risk of what if I opened the box of my grief and really sat with myself in that pit of darkness. When would I have time for that? So we don't give ourselves enough time really until we are just at our rope's end, or just seeking like a solution out of the absolute dump. And we also cling to others' expectations, and we want to be strong for them, whether it's our children in our lives or other significant relationships that maybe put pressure on us to be strong, to show our capabilities, even while we're experiencing grief. And many of you know, because I have personal relationships with each of you, that when my mom passed away in November of 2022, I was undone. And it was really a difficult first week intentionally, especially. And then months have passed since then. Today actually marks month 8 since her passing. And I've learned to let the waves of grief flow over me without consuming me. However, I realize that not everyone has that same toolbox that my mom actually gave me through her model and her life of emotional and mental resources to really help through difficult times. And so I've shared some of those over the last 6 months in particular, but this retreat is going to open the door to some of the other experiences that I've had that I have not gotten to share with the wider audience. So what does it mean to remove those obstacles? You know, what does it mean to sit with people who just are willing to show up for you without you having to pretend or to put on a mask of certainty or capability, like I said before, or confidence, that you could be honoring of your grief and live in harmony with your present moment, that you could integrate soul care and sacred healing into your everyday life, that you could enjoy the activities you choose when you choose to do them, maybe release some of the stuck energy you have, or receive inner wisdom that will help you take steps toward healing and growth. And perhaps it's about moving with grace through this season. And that's really what we're choosing to offer you during this fall retreat. So I said before, life shifting, growth inspiring. My mom used the phrase radical transformation. Many of you wear that shirt with pride, recognizing that our radical transformations come and our healing comes in different forms. And so really being able to relax, have fun, find community, and equip you to return home with the tools that are going to start helping you best care for your soul will help you see that you're not alone. And we're really looking forward to serving and celebrating you. So again, to recap, the retreat is a 4-day, 3-night retreat in Carlsbad, California. We actually are prepared to host you in 2 beach houses that are right next door to each other, and only a short walk to the beach and a short bike ride to the village town center, where there's tons of really fun coffee shops and restaurants and things to do there. The retreat includes 4 sessions with Reverend Shay Darian, who is the director of the Doing Grief Community Healing Project. I'll tell you a little bit more about her in a minute. She's been my personal spiritual director in small groups throughout my last 6 months of healing. I'm going to offer a breakthrough session of aroma freedom for our participants. We also are offering comfy guest rooms that you can choose to have a solo room or share a room with someone. We also are going to have some options for you. So I'm consulting with my beloved brother and sister in love there in Carlsbad for a smorgasbord, a menu, if you will, of some options that you could choose during our free time, because we aren't going to keep you working and kind of diving in on this. We want to give you some retreat and relaxation. So there's going to be options that you can choose, and you can just choose to sleep. If you want to choose to sleep and you need a chance to just catch your breath, we'll provide that space as well. We also will provide 5 delicious nutrition-focused meals, including one that we're going to do out of the homes together at a restaurant, local restaurant. We'll have quote unquote healthy snacks and drinks. That'll be a little bit dependent on you and what your favorites are. And then also I'm putting together a personalized swag bag of some comfort items that you will, I think, appreciate as touch points for the weekend. So the investment for a shared room is $897, or if you'd like to have a solo room, that will be $1,197. And the thing that I love about these 2 options is that we actually have some discounts already available to you. So I have a discount code, and I'll be posting it in our Soul Care Sanctuary, which is the membership group that we started in June actually, to facilitate some of the conversation outside of the retreat weekend. And then also I am offering payment plans. So if you get your deposit down to hold your place today, then we'll have a smaller amount that you can pay in September, and then or in August, and then another one in September, and then your final payment before the retreat in October. So that might help you spread that out. I also have a scholarship opportunity to let you know about as part of Living Well Now in just a minute. This is especially for women who are seeking authentic connection, who are looking for personal growth, that deep soul care, and also just space in their lives to reflect and heal, as well as to unwind and relax. And I really want to underscore the fact that we're a very open and affirming community. We are looking to serve women of all faith backgrounds and also those who are on a journey of spirituality. So I want to be really clear that we're going to honor and respect everyone along that continuum, whatever that looks like for you, so that we can most earnestly show up for divine wisdom and that still small voice, that inner wisdom that sometimes gets blocked by the outside world and the noises that we surround ourselves with. So imagine lounging with a hot cup of coffee, because it is October, not August in Carlsbad, right? So it's not 80 degrees or 115 degrees. You're going to want a hot cup of coffee and a book in the beachside village after an invigorating workout or sleeping in. Imagine relaxing with kindred sisters in the hot tub or doing yoga beachside during sunrise or sunset or both. Also, getting the rest and inspiration you've been craving, receiving expert guidance and spiritual coaching to release what's holding you back and renew yourself before the busy holiday season. There's an intention in having this in October ahead of all of the expectations we place on ourselves for November and December. What does it look like to be tender about our pain and loss while also connecting with our true desires to create an inspired action plan through our grief, not leaving it behind, but truly living through it, and using art and music to get inspired for our next chapters as well. So the retreat location, just to tell you a little bit about that, my mom and family actually purchased that property in 2015 because we had a dream of bringing people to our special family vacation spot. Carlsbad was a place that we enjoyed vacationing in since the early 2000s with our family. And this retreat space would give us a chance to rent it to families for beautiful and cozy beach vacations. And also the location has become an oasis for many healing experiences. So my brother also hosts retreats there. We've had business retreats, leadership development retreats there. My first retreat there was in 2018. And we had a small group gather with one of my favorite local San Diego authors who since moved from there and really had an incredible experience becoming and being aware of our brazenness as women. So it's a 3-bed, 3-bath house. But we can host community dinners for up to 15 in that home. So we're renting the adjacent neighbor's house so that you can either choose to have your own room or bring a friend to share a room for a discount. We do have king beds for those shared rooms. We have queen beds, and I think our smallest is a twin bed in the other house. So lots of good options for you to have your own retreat or also be willing to share with someone else. So a weekend intensive like this offers transformation just by the sheer fact that it is within 4 days and 3 nights. And so I think you're going to find that this is a way for you to jumpstart or continue your healing and growth. And perhaps you'll start to add some different foundational practices that will help guide your daily decisions and maybe even increase the depth of your relationships with newfound friends at the retreat, or ones that you are cultivating back home. And then, of course, looking for opportunities at every turn to have positive encounters that are divinely appointed. And noticing those things is one of the first stages of really experiencing soul care and letting it integrate into your daily life. So what can you expect before the retreat? starting next month, we're actually going to begin some monthly online preparation, and that's why our Soul Care Sanctuary plays a really huge role in this. We're actually going to start setting the stage for some deep transformational conversations so that you have a little bit of a framework of what that's going to look like before you actually get to experience it. I think that will give us all sort of a same place, ground level starting point when we arrive at the venue and really get to start diving in on some things. It'll deepen the relationships much more quickly. And just like harvesting, we will be nourished with abundance, beauty, and inspiration. And really, this is intentional in October, like I said before, to help us flourish as we end 2023 and begin a new one, a new year with perhaps new experiences and new hopes and new opportunities for our growth. So I wanted to make a quick mention, like I said, of my friend and spiritual director, Shay Darian. I met her here locally, probably around February. And you can read more about her online at doinggrief.com is her website, and her book that you've seen pictures of, and I'll show you in a second on this other screen. Oh, no, the book that we're holding in our photo here is one of her best resources that I have found. It is a workbook truly of contemplations and activities and just a wellspring of guidance for moving through the grief process. And I love how she's even titled it Doing Grief in Real Life. And with her expert facilitation, she is going to help us level up our listening skills to each other, but also to God in this place together. So this has become a well-loved and beloved book. I highly suggest grabbing it. You can get it from her website. She has a link to Amazon there, or just go straight to Amazon. The book is called Doing Grief in Real Life. So I did ask a couple of people to write me some reflections because this is my second women's retreat. And so my friend Amy was able to recount some of her experiences even 5 years ago. She felt refreshed and truly changed. She enjoyed the food and the yoga, the group sessions, and long talks around the fire in the evening. She felt equipped to once again take on the world. And so she's super grateful that she got to attend then and would love to come back another time. My friend Sonia, she added in that it was important to her to find insight, healing, and empowerment in her very soul. She was grateful to know that she's not alone in stumbling blocks, trauma, and losses, and that brought comfort and allowed her to move forward through these things. And yes, it's been 5 years, so it's very fitting that we're launching this again for 2023. A few little details, we'll go into this more if you choose to sign up. Remember that we can have really unpredictable weather in Carlsbad in October. But if you like to go swimming in the very, very cold Pacific Ocean, you should bring a swimsuit. Or if you'd like to get in the hot tub, again, not a prerequisite, but something super fun that you can do. A lot of people rave about cold plunges, so we have the Pacific Ocean right there for you to do that. We'll also go through a special piece of music or artwork that you could bring with you at one of our sharing circles. Like I mentioned earlier, bring a water bottle, mug, preferred snacks, so we can kind of choose from those. We'll bring water and warm beverages and have obviously tons of things available for breakfasts and snacks. But if there are extra additional things that you'd like to have with you, you should bring those as well. Definitely recommend flying in to San Diego International. Would love to have you arrive by 1 p.m. on Thursday so that we can coordinate a pickup time instead of having to kind of fight traffic that day. And then when you are leaving, if you could make your departure flight for after 2 p.m. on Sunday, that will allow us plenty of time for our closing and a shared ride to the airport again. So you won't have to worry about getting yourself to Carlsbad. It's about an hour with traffic to get from the airport up to the house, but we will arrange for that. And we'll start to check in at 3 o'clock if you're driving over. So then you can get settled and then ease into our first dinner and evening together. And remember, we have a private room or a shared room. And it doesn't have to be somebody that you know that you share your room with. You just have to be willing to share with someone if that's the option that you choose. I mentioned earlier that there would be scholarships and discounts. So if you have been enrolled, if you're enrolled in our Soul Care Sanctuary for August, September, and October, at least 3 months, maybe a couple of you have been already in our Soul Care Sanctuary, then your discount code is $100. And I will give you that code in the group following our call tonight. I didn't get that up before. If you'd like to apply for an additional scholarship, which is up to $200 per person, there is money available from the Living Well Now Foundation, and there is an application to fill out online. And there's also a check mark in there that is for other. So if you have someone in your life who wants to see you be able to attend this and not let money be in your way, they can donate to the Living Well Now Foundation, and then we will match that donation to you as in form of scholarship. So you can either just ask us for $200 straight up and we can gift that to you, or if you want it more than that, then you can find a matching scholarship by asking someone to sponsor you, donate to the foundation, and then we will pass that forward to you in particular for your time at the women's retreat. So our refund and cancellation policy, if you cancel before October 1st, I'll give you a full refund of less $50 processing fee. But if you make a cancellation after October 1st, then we'll credit that to a future retreat or event that we're having, less that $50 processing fee. So it's, I'm really excited about the just sort of the framework that we've put together, but also the structure and the logistics that are going to make this a really awesome time. Because I really believe that this is going to bring about deep rest and soul care renewal. You're going to leave with a new, deeper self-compassion for your grief, your disappointments, embarrassments, and even your failures, and really begin to celebrate your divine goodness and worth. I hope that you'll leave with a vision for the next chapter of your life and relationships with women that will become lifelong friends, and so much more. So if you are ready to register, all you need to do to get this information and get the link for the deposit down or the pay in full, or the for pay in full for the shared or the solo room, is text the word retreat, just the word retreat, to my business texting number, which is 623-439-4910. And if you need to get into our Soul Care Sanctuary, you can text the word Soul Care to the same number, and that will give you the link to join Soul Care Sanctuary for that $100 discount. I really believe that this is going to catapult you to that next level that you've been looking for. I know that it is needed and necessary. I've had so many women that have resonated with my journey, in particular, grieving the loss of a parent, but other grief that has debilitated us in so many ways. And I'm looking to really love on and support women to move through that with grace and ease. And I believe that there is room for you at the table, always and forever. And if you have questions, I invite you to be in touch with me, because I am here to answer them, to serve you, and to truly just really walk this journey with you. And like I said, I'm blessed to have been able to get a weekend off of Shay's busy calendar to come join us. I think that's going to be a huge addition to this women's retreat, and just give us some really, really good, solid foundational principles to move into the remaining months of 2023 with. So thanks for your time tonight. I'm going to stop the recording, but I'm not going to stop our live sharing. So if you have questions, I'm happy to answer those. I just want to make sure I have a clean copy of